Hey there, what's going on? My name is Keith. I'm hosting tonight, Wednesdays in Bed with Keith. And I've never been on the air before, really, so this is just one of those things that just popped into my head, and a lot of things pop into my head. If this becomes successful, you'll understand that as we go on. But I decided that my partner, Rob, love him to death. He's the sweetest man in the world. He is so much better than I am. He's a Jew. And with that said, could I get any luckier? I mean, Jews just treat their partners right. And I know that that is like probably anti-Semitic or something to that effect and offensive, but as I've always said, because of Rob, I have the get out of jail free card. So I feel like I can say whatever I want to say. Now, according to Rob, that is actually not the case. Because in his words, unless you're born into the tribe, you are not the tribe. And it's not okay to say things like that. Like, I can call myself a faggot, which is totally fine. I can call myself a Guido, totally fine. I cannot call him anything but my Jewish boyfriend. So we sort of worked that all out. But on our first date, actually, I'm sorry, not our first date, on our first Christmas, when I decided that, I am Roman Catholic, but I decided that my mother always made Christmas Eve the night to remember. We did have Christmas Day, and it was a big feast, but Christmas Eve was really, really the special night. It's like, Old Holy Night, and so on and so forth. But I decided that I would keep the tradition of Christmas Eve, but dispense with Christmas Day. And so our first Christmas together, he asked me if we could go to a movie, and I reluctantly said yes. It felt a little weird, but it was Dreamgirls, so, Jennifer Hudson, Dreamgirls, what could be better on Christmas, right? It's like a gift. So I agreed, and I said to him, the only stipulation is we absolutely positively cannot have Chinese food. I just couldn't go that far, and I wasn't even sure of the relationship at that point. So we went out and we searched for a restaurant. So I am a lover of shirts. I have gazillions of shirts. I'm a shirtaholic. I should call Shirtaholics Anonymous. But I love very avant-garde shirts at that time. And let's face it, I'm 59 years old right now, so I don't have the body that can pull off avant-garde. I just have a body that should be pulled off literally. So anyway, we go to this restaurant in New Haven. It was one of the only restaurants that was open. I had on this crazy white shirt that was made by this designer down in Soho, and it literally had like exterior stripes. Like when I was a kid, we had these jeans called, I think they were called rags or something to that effect, where the seams were sewn on the outside with yellow stitching, and they were just so cool for the 70s. So anyway, this shirt sort of replicated that. It was white with white stitching on the outside. It looked like it had sort of been shredded and put back together. Like probably I pulled it out of a dumpster and brought it to my tailor and said, hey, fix this shirt. And he did it inside out. So we get to the restaurant and we go upstairs. And so we walk in and it becomes very apparent that this is full-blown Christmas. Like, the women are in long gowns, they look like they're gonna walk the red carpet, the guys are dressed up, suit, tie, and here's the Jew and the fallen Catholic, and we both look like we're just got out of our trailer and decided to grab a bite to eat. We couldn't find a Denny's open, so we ended up at this restaurant. So the waitress takes us to the table and we sit down, she gives us our menu, and the next thing you know, it's a prefix menu. We only have 1 hour because we have pre-bought our tickets to Dreamgirls. So we look at it and there's 4 courses on the menu. So we ask if there's any way we can sort of expedite it, but no, they have the rules, the regulations. It's Christmas, and Christmas goes as Christmas goes. There's rigid rules that you have to follow. So we had to get up from the table and walk out of the restaurant, which clearly, everybody was looking at us thinking, oh my God, they can't afford to eat here. here. I mean, look at the poor thing. That one there has on a torn up shirt, which, by the way, the shirt probably cost more than all 4 people's dinners at the table that day. But we go out and we get into the elevator, and Rob is like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry." And I said, "There's no need to be sorry." And I just sort of chuckled a little bit, and he goes, "No, seriously." He's like, "First we killed your Christ, and now I killed Christmas." And I just started laughing, and ever since then, we have just worked out the whole interfaith relationship. It's wonderful, it's perfect.